Okay. Okay, so everybody can hear me, everybody can see me. Good, thanks, Jordan. Okay. Okay, thank you for joining the yoga class today. I get you to come into your space, taking some nice deep breaths. Just ground ourselves in our yoga practice. The next hour is for our own nourishment, improving our vibration, landing into this space. Today, I thought we would do some work on heart opening and self-acceptance, bringing some opening through the chest area. And our peak pose today is going to be a camel pose. So we haven't done the camel pose before, I don't think. So we'll do lots of chest opening all the way to warming up for that. Let's open up our space with an Om. You can join me if you wish, but you don't have to. We're going to bring our hands to Anjali Mudra and take a deep breath in and a big breath out, releasing all that doesn't serve. I invite you to take another deep breath in. Thank you for being here. Let's start off today in a heart opening pose. We'll go onto our back. If you have a block or a bolster, you can just pop it underneath where your chest would be and laying back onto that so that when you lay onto it, it opens up your heart area, taking your knees out wide into a butterfly position, relaxing into the floor and feeling very grounded in this position, letting your knees just fall to the outside. If you feel you need a little support, you can put a cushion under each knee just to support it a little bit. Connecting with the earth, feeling the earth underneath your feet, underneath your buttocks and lower back, and underneath your chest with your heart open, and beneath your arms with your hands open. Taking some nice deep breaths in here, and we'll open up with some Ujjayi breath. With the Ujjayi breath, you're breathing in through the nose and feeling a little vibration in the back of your throat, as if you're breathing into a mirror to fog the mirror up. So even if you put your hand in front of your mouth, so breathing in and then breathing out. The Ujjayi breath tunes in to the back of your throat. Sounds a little bit like the ocean. Imagine as you breathe in, it's a wave coming towards you. And as you're breathing out, the wave going away from you. Bringing your hands, left hand to your chest and your right hand to your tummy. As you breathe in, feel the rise of the chest and the rise of the belly. And as you breathe out, it falls away, just like the waves of the ocean. And with your Ujjayi breath, extending through the breath. Stay here for another 10 breaths, just grounding ourselves, extending our breath. 5 more deep, long breaths. And one more long breath. And then gently rising and taking away any supports you have underneath your chest. Just pop them to the side and then hug your knees up into your chest, gently rolling your body in a circle or backwards and forwards, whatever's feeling right for you today. Releasing any tension that you have. Embracing your knees and giving yourself a hug, pulling them in towards your chest. And then gently dropping your feet down to the floor with your legs still bent, arms out to the side. We're going to go into gentle twist from side to side, starting dropping your knees to the right and gazing to the left. Stay here for about 3 breaths, feeling that gentle twist through the left side of the body and through the lower back. As you breathe in, breathing in the vibrations of the earth as they're supporting you in your yoga practice. And the next inhalation, bringing your knees to the center, gazing up to the ceiling, and then exhaling, taking your knees to the left and gazing to the right, coming into twist, feeling the stretch down the right side of the body, and a little bit of a twist in the lower back. Taking 3 deep, long breaths here. Having your shoulders flat on the ground, feeling supported by the earth. Nice and grounded. And one more deep, relaxing breath. Bring the knees to the center and then coming up into a tabletop position. Opening out through your fingers, and we're going to do some rounds of cat-cow. As we inhale, lift through our chest and lift our gaze, opening our heart, and exhaling, taking our spine up towards the ceiling and gazing through our knees towards our feet. Continue on using your own breath to initiate the movement. We'll go 5 more rounds. Notice vertebrae by vertebrae movement in the spine, loosening up through the upper back and the neck. Feeling the earth underneath your hands and underneath your knees and underneath the top of your feet. We'll do 2 more rounds. And from here, we're going to go to thread the needle. So we're going to start with our left hand. We're going to take our gaze to our left hand, and we're going to inhale and lift the left hand all the way up towards the ceiling, noticing a twist through the upper thoracic, the upper back, and exhaling, bringing that hand underneath the right and really stretching that hand across, noticing a stretch through the shoulder on the left side, through the scapula. Inhale, lift all the way up, feeling that twist through the chest, and exhaling all the way down. Inhaling all the way up, and on this time we're going to bring the hand all the way down and bring our arm and our shoulder and our ear towards the mat and take our right hand forward. Noticing here a deep stretch through the left scapula. And I'm going to stay here for 5 deep breaths. On each exhalation, surrendering a little more into the stretch, getting a deep stretch through the shoulders. 2 more breaths here. And inhaling, bring the left hand back up to the mat and sliding the right hand back to center. And then we're going to change to the other side. Taking a gaze to the right hand, inhaling and lifting the hand all the way up towards the ceiling, taking your gaze with it, noticing that opening of the chest and the twist through the upper back. Exhale, bring that hand underneath, threading the needle underneath the left arm, extending the hand. Inhale, lift all the way up and notice that twist, opening through the chest, and exhaling, bring the right hand down underneath the left. Another big inhale, take it all the way up towards the ceiling, and then this time bringing the right arm under and taking the left hand forward, bringing your ear and your shoulder down to the mat and take the left hand forward. And we're going to stay here for 5 deep breaths. Feeling the stretch through the scapula on the right side this time. On each deep exhalation, surrender a little more into the stretch. Two more breaths here. And last breath. And coming back to tabletop. Just moving your body around, just freeing up your shoulders a little bit, just getting a little bit of movement. And then we're going to exhale into a child's pose, taking our knees wide and our feet together. Arms, hands spread out, and exhaling, coming back into child's pose and walking your hands forward and bringing your forehead down to the mat. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. Connecting with your body, scanning your body. Notice where you're feeling this one. Feeling the earth underneath your hands, underneath your forehead, your shins and your feet. On each long exhalation, surrendering a little more into the pose. Feeling the stretch through the upper back and through the inner thighs and the lower back. Two more breaths here. And then walking your hands back a little and coming up to tabletop. We're going to move through a sequence with up dog and down dog. Opening our hands out, really feeling the earth underneath our hands and tucking our toes under. So we're going to exhale and we're going to lift our hips up towards the ceiling, walking our feet, walking our heels down. And then we're going to inhale, and we can bring our knees down, walk our hands a little forward, and taking our chest forward into an up dog, and then exhaling back into down dog. Continue on for 5 rounds. So feel free to bring your knees to the ground, or you can have your knees off the ground as you go into your up dog. You decide what feels best for your body today. You might do a couple of knees and then you go to straight up. Just warming up our spine a little more and opening up through our chest. Feel the energy rising. Let's go one more round. And landing into downward dog. And from here, walking our hands back a little, taking our feet wide. And then you can bend your knees if you wish, walking your hands back, coming back to a forward bend. Stay here for about 3 breaths, just noticing how that feels down the back of your legs and your lower back. Let your head fall heavy. Two more breaths here. And then inhale, come all the way back up to standing position and into hands into Anjali Mudra. Bring your legs back together. We'll do 3 sun salutes to keep warming up our body. So we're going to come to the front of the mat. Bring our hands to Anjali Mudra. Just taking a couple of deep breaths here, just getting ourselves nice and centered. Spreading out our toes under our feet, feeling nice and grounded. So we're going to inhale, lift and lengthen our arms, looking up towards the ceiling, and exhaling, folding forward. And then inhale, lift the chest and lengthen the spine. Exhaling, stepping back into a high plank. And then slowly bending the elbows, bringing your body down to the ground. And then inhale, coming into an upward dog. Exhaling, taking your toes under and coming into a downward dog. Stretching through the back of the legs and the arms and shoulders. Take your gaze forward and step forward into a forward bend. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, hugging the chest towards the legs. And inhale, coming all the way back up to mountain pose. And hands back to Anjali Mudra. Just taking a couple of breaths here, settling your breath down. Energy starting to rise a little. And let's go for our second round. So inhale, lift and lengthen. Reaching up towards the ceiling and exhaling, folding forward. Bring your hands down towards the mat. Inhale, lift the chest and lengthen the spine. And exhale, stepping back into a high plank. At this point, dropping our knees down to the ground if you wish and bring the elbows down. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the gaze. And then exhale, tucking the toes under and coming into downward dog. Stretching through the legs and the arms. Taking your gaze forward and stepping forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And then exhale, tucking your chin in and bring your chest towards your legs. Inhale, coming all the way back up to mountain pose and back to Anjali Mudra. One more round. Taking a couple of breaths if you need to, just to settle your breath down. It's quite vigorous. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Reaching up towards the ceiling and exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, lift the chest, lengthen the spine. feeling the stretch through the back of the legs and stepping back into high plank and slowly lowering the body down to the mat. Inhale, lifting the chest up into up dog, and exhale, rolling over the toes into down dog, stretching it out, taking your eyes forward towards your hands, step forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the chest, feel the stretch down the back of the legs, and exhale, bring your chin in and bring your chest to your legs. And inhale, come all the way back up and back to Anjali Mudra. Nice. Next one we're going to go into is our warrior sequence. Taking our left foot out slightly to the side, step forward with the right foot comfortably forward. Having your front heel, the right heel, is in line with where the arch is on your left foot, and just twisting your body so that your hips are facing forward and your chest is facing forward. So we're going to inhale, lift our arms and bend our right knee. So the right knee is over the right ankle. That's it. You might be able to bend yours a little more, Penny and Deb. That's it. And taking some deep breaths here, connecting with the stretch on the left hip flexor, and then taking the right hand forward, left hand back, and really opening through the chest. Again, letting your heart open out here, extending through the hands, having the front knee still bent. Taking a couple of breaths here, really extending through the hands, opening the heart, and then taking both hands forward and behind your back, clasping them, bringing your chest down to your right knee, lengthening out that front knee so it's now in a straighter position, into humble warrior, lifting your hands up from your buttocks and stretching through the shoulders and stretching through the back of the hamstrings on the right leg. Taking 3 breaths here. And then releasing your hands down to the mat. Bring your right hand in front of your right foot. If you have a block, you can use the block here. Placing the right hand on the block. And then take your left hand and lift it up all the way up to the ceiling and take your gaze with it into triangle pose. And connecting with the stretch through the right hamstring and really opening up, feeling that chest open up. Taking 3 more breaths here. And then releasing that left hand back down to the mat. Elsa's just joined us. And then placing the left hand on the block and taking the right hand up into a reverse triangle. 3 breaths here. This one's quite an intense stretch through the hamstring on the right side. And then releasing that right hand to the mat. Inhale, bringing both hands up and back to Anjali Mudra. And then bring your legs together, give them a little shake. And we'll go to the other side. So this time we've got our right toes slightly out to the side. And we're going to step forward with the left leg. And so the left heel should be about in line with the arch of your right foot. And turning your body forward so your hips and your shoulders are facing forward. We're going to inhale, lift our arms and bending our left knee. Bring the arms all the way up. Take your gaze up as well. Connecting with a stretch on the right hip flexor this time. So the left knee is got a nice bend in it over the left ankle. Everyone looking good there. Raising the chest and raising your gaze. We'll be here for 3 breaths. Really lifting the arms up, stretching the body. And then taking left hand forward, right hand back into warrior two, keeping that bend in that front leg and opening up through the chest, really feeling a stretch through the front of the chest as you lengthen your arms. Taking 2 more breaths here. It's quite intense strength on your left thigh. And then lengthening that front leg and bringing your body back to the front, taking your hands behind you, clasping them as you fold forward. That left leg is now in a lengthened position, lifting the hands up and feeling a stretch through the back of the legs and through the shoulders into humble warrior. Spreading out your toes so you've got a good grip on the earth. Taking 2 more breaths here. Feeling the stretch down the back of the left leg. And then releasing your hands down to the mat. This time, bringing your left hand down to a block if you have one. You can either have it that way or that way, whichever feels right for you. And we're going to take the right hand up to the ceiling and take your gaze with it. Noticing the back of the leg on the left leg, hamstrings nicely stretched, really opening through the chest, bringing the hand up, straight up from your shoulders, taking the gaze with it. It's quite intense through the left hand as well. And then releasing that right hand back down to the earth and swapping that over. You can have the right hand on the block, take your left hand up into a reverse triangle. And again, noticing that stretch through the hamstring on the left side. Having the hand all the way up towards the ceiling with your gaze opening through the chest. 2 more breaths. And then releasing that hand down to the mat. And then we're going to inhale and lift our body up using the strength in the front leg. Hands back to Anjali Mudra and give that a little shake. Well done. Let's do a little balancing pose here. We'll do a tree pose again today. So the tree pose is really good to help ground you and to help keep your body balanced and your mind balanced. We'll start on the right foot first. So I want you to really open out through the right toes and just move your body around in a little circle on that right foot so it really feels completely grounded. And you can feel where the anchor points are, the 3 anchor points on your foot, on the outside of the foot, at the front and the inside, and your heel. Then we're going to pick a gazing point or a drishti point in front of your mat, about a mat's length in front of your mat. And we're going to pick the left foot up and either place it at your calf or place it a little higher in your thigh. And once you get comfortable there, you can bring your hands up to Anjali Mudra. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. So keeping your gaze point, taking some deep breaths, connecting with the energy of the earth underneath your right foot. Imagine your right foot is growing roots like you're the trunk of the tree, and then underneath your foot, the roots are going down into the earth. Take 3 more breaths. Nice. Okay, and then gently releasing that. So give your legs a little shake. So look like we had a bit of movement there on the right foot. So you guys might find that your left is a lot better. So again, we're going to open out through the left toes and just moving our body in a little circle just over that left foot so you really feel grounded with it. And find your drishti point in front of your mat. Have your right toe just up on the mat. And then when you're ready, bring the right foot either to your calves or to your inner thigh. Try not to have it placed next to your knee. And bring it up. You might need to just get yourself steady. finding that drishti point. And again, think of yourself as a tree and you're the trunk, and underneath your feet, the roots are going down into the earth, grounding you. Taking some deep breaths here, using that gaze point. 3 more breaths. And 1 more breath. Nice work, and then release. Give it a nice shake. Would work. So from here, we're going to go down to the mat into tabletop position. We're working our way towards our peak pose, which is the camel pose. So we're going to do a little more stretching and opening of the chest and a little bit of back bending. So from the tabletop position, we're going to lift the alternate arm and leg. We'll start with the right hand and left leg, having your hands nice and open, so fingers are really well spread, and the knees are a little wider apart, so they're just underneath your hips. Inhale, lift the left leg and the right hand. Have the feet pointing down towards the mat and the right hand straight in front. Just holding that there, really lengthening out nice and straight. And then exhale, bringing that down to the mat. Inhale, we're going to stay on the same side. Lift and lengthen again. Really feel that lengthening through from the left foot all the way through the body to the right hand. And exhale, bring it back down. And we're going to go 1 more, lift and lengthen. And then from here, we're going to bend our left knee and take our right hand around the side and connecting with that left foot. And we're going to lift our chest and lengthen through our foot, lifting our hand. Just taking a couple of breaths here. Nice work, and then release and bring the knee and the hand back to the mat, and we'll go to the other side. So we're going to inhale, lift our left hand and our right knee, pointing our right toes down towards the mat and lengthening through the hand. And exhale, bringing it back down. Inhale, lift and lengthen, trying to keep the back nice and flat. And exhale, back down. And lift and lengthen again as you inhale, really lengthening out. Taking another breath here and then bending the right knee, taking the right foot across to the left side, and then take that left hand back to connect with the right foot. And then inhale, lift the chest and lengthen through the foot. Taking a couple of breaths here. And then release down to the mat. And then from here, we're going to come down to the mat, bring our body down to the mat. And we'll do a similar thing, but we're going to do it with our body on the mat this time. And if you can't quite grab the feet, you can grab the ankles or maybe even grab your leg of your trousers or yoga pants. Just moving our knees from side to side, just loosening off through the lower back, having our hands underneath our shoulders. And then we're going to lift our chest and have our knees fairly wide and our knees bent, feet up in the air. And we're going to reach back with the left hand to the left foot. That's it. And then reach back the right hand to the right foot. Good. Looks like everybody's got it. Excellent. And then inhale, lift the chest and pull the feet back from the hands. Good work. Everyone's got it. Into a boat pose. We take 3 breaths here. You might notice your body's rocking a little bit. 1 more breath. connecting with the stretch through the front of the thighs and the front of the chest and the arms, and then exhale and release. Release down to the mat. And then bring your body up into child's pose, taking your knees wide. Bring your buttocks down to your heels, walking your hands forward and just stretching your back out after that one. So you were doing a back arch, now you're doing a forward bend to compensate. Taking a couple of breaths here. And then walking your hands back towards your body and coming up to a position where you're actually standing on your knees. And from here, we're going to go into our peak pose, which is a camel pose. So I'll just show you what that looks like. So it's really a big opening of the chest and the front of the body. So all the work that you've been doing to prepare through the hips and through the chest is brought you to this pose. So from here, you're going to bring your hands to your buttocks, opening your chest and looking up towards the ceiling. So you can stay here if you wish, and you'll notice a nice back bend, or you can take it a little lower. So you walk your hands down to your heels and stretching up, taking your gaze up towards the ceiling. Sit. Taking a few breaths here. And then walk your hands back up to your lower back and come back up to standing. And then let's take our body back down, bring your buttocks down to your heels and coming back to tabletop. And we'll do a couple of cat-cows here, just loosening off your spine again. And then coming onto our backs. We're going to go into the bridge pose, which is the exact opposite pose of what we just did. So we've got our feet on the floor, hip width apart, our knees bent, our hands, palms down on the mat beside us, and we're going to inhale. We're going to lift up our hips, bring them up towards the ceiling, and bring our hands over the top. And then as you exhale, slowly lowering the body down to the mat. And let's go 2 more rounds. And 1 more. Then hugging your knees into your chest, rolling your lower back, giving it a nice massage, taking it from side to side or in circles. And from here, we're going to reach through to our feet into happy baby pose. So reach through, grabbing the outside of your feet and then bringing your soles of your feet up towards the ceiling. Your back nice and flat on the mat. Taking a few breaths here, just moving your body however you feel you need to. You might like to roll around a little bit in circles or backwards and forwards. And then releasing your feet down to the mat. And from here, laying back down into Savasana. So finding yourself a nice, comfortable position. You might like to have a bolster underneath your knees to support your lower back, or you might like to bend your knees, feeling supported by the earth underneath your back. If you have an eye pillow, you might like to pop that on, or a blanket over the top, getting ready for your nice restorative yoga nidra. Taking 3 deep relaxing breaths. Relaxing your whole body. Be aware of the sounds in the distance, moving your awareness from sound to sound without attempting to identify the sound. Be aware of your physical body lying in Savasana. Be aware of your alignment, your chin lower than your forehead, your spine aligned, your arms close to your body, fingers away from the floor, as comfortable as possible. Become aware of your natural breath and keep it completely spontaneous. Rotating your awareness around your body and repeating your intention for your practice 3 times with feeling. Rotating your consciousness, starting with your right hand thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm, back of your hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side trunk, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, top of your foot, bottom of your foot, toes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Check your awareness that you're still awake and move your attention to your left hand thumb, forefinger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm, back of your hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side trunk, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, top of your foot, bottom of your foot, toes, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Check your awareness that you're still awake. Move your attention to the back of your body, heels, back of your legs, buttocks, back, shoulder, arms, hands, the whole of your spine, neck, back of your head, crown of your head, forehead, right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, center eyebrow, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear. right cheek, left cheek, right nostril, left nostril, lips, chin, throat, chest, 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 abdomen, 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 pelvis, pelvis, pelvis. Become aware of your breath, counting back from 17 to 0. Checking your awareness that you're still awake. Awakening the feeling of warmth throughout your whole body. Your whole body is warm. Your legs are warm. Your arms are warm. Your whole body is warm. Now awakening the feeling of coolness in your body. Your whole body is cool. Your legs are cool. Your arms are cool. Your whole body is cool. Bringing your awareness to the front of your closed eyes. Imagine the following objects as they are named. A huge bubble all the way around your body. A rising sun. A rainbow. A beautiful blue sky. A setting sun. A red rose. A turtle. An eagle. The beautiful purple jacaranda. The fragrance of the jasmine. The sounds of the ocean and the smell of the sea. Now is the time in your practice to repeat your intention 3 times. Bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel your body resting in Savasana, supported by the earth. Aware of the room that you're in, the surrounding floor, the ceiling, the walls, the windows, the sounds inside the room, the sounds outside the room. Recall the time of day and know that the practice of Yoga Nidra is coming to an end. I will chime the singing bowl once. The practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete. Gently stretching your arms above your head, stretching out your legs, and slowly rolling to one side. Coming to a gentle, comfortable seated position. Taking some nice breaths here. I've got a little quote for you about heart opening. Allow things to come and go. Keep your heart as open as the sky. So you've done a lot of work on your heart, a lot of grounding today. Hopefully you're feeling nice and balanced now. Thank you for being here today, for sharing your beautiful energy in our yoga practice, supporting yourselves and supporting each other. Let's bring our hands to our heart. We'll seal our practice with an Om, taking a deep breath in and breathing out all that doesn't serve anymore. Another deep breath in. Om. Bring our hands to our forehead for kind thoughts and to our lips for kind words and to our heart for a kind, open heart. Namaste. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Jenny.